Israeli soldier Or Yelin, who was part of an elite IDF combat unit known as the Maglan, was critically wounded fighting Hamas in Gaza. He also narrowly survived the October 7th massacres in his hometown of Kibbutz Be'eri. He has seen Hamas up close and personal for years, and he joins us now from Israel. Or what can you tell us about your experience with Hamas?
When I was a kid, grow up and educated in Kibbutz Be'eri, Hamas wasn't he wasn't the leader in Gaza. In 2006, he been elected democracy in Gaza, and in 2007 he started to executed all the people that come against him. But my childhood and all what I knew is change in a second. They start to launch massive missiles attack. They build hundreds to thousands of tunnels that aim to kill civilians. But a lot of people ask me, no, they come for the soldiers. This is their land or things like that. But the truth is that it's nothing about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. It's
Hmm.
everything about rational and ethical. It's regarding
Hmm.
with Jews. But why I'm saying that and why I feel so confident to share those sentences with you. When I served in the army in special forces. Comparing to the state's Delta Force, I've been inside Gaza. After they captured and killed the three Shiva boys in 2014, they opened in a big war and they built hundreds of tunnels attacks and they launched thousands of missiles on Israel. It's find the country on guard. I get inside when I see my home or my playground. My background become to be a battlefield, and I'm inside Gaza, and I saw the way they treat to their own peoples. When we will sacrifice ourselves, when we see civilians, that even if it's Gazans civilians, no matter what, they will use them as a shield. For example, I remember that we are try to get inside a tunnel, and before we getting inside the tunnel inside Gaza, we saw a terrorist with a machine gun holding a kid and start to shoot from his shoulder. And you will do nothing. You will never shoot. So this is our morality. Life are secrets, and their morality it's that it's not matter. They will sacrifice everything for Muhammad for Allah. But still, I was 20 years old when I was in the army. But now at 7th October, I've been with my wife and with my mother and father in the shelter for 12 hours in 7th October. Uh, and what they did, they came hundreds of Hamas, the infantry, the kibbutz. They came with dozens of Toyota Hilux with machine guns in the rooftops. They came with buckets of grenades, with RPGs, anti-tanks missiles, snipers. They came very prepared to a weeks of a war. But we are not soldiers, and there is no people that have a rifle or ammo inside their arms. We are just regular people as you are. And when they break 400 soldiers of Hamas and more than 100 of Palestinian regular that been leveraged by the attack of the Hamas, and they did the same. So what they did, they came to a door, they knocked the door, and they said, Yehud, Yehud, iftach el bab. Jewish people, open your door.
Whoa.
Divide between blood to blood. They didn't care if you are a soldier, a woman, a man, a kids, a grandpa. It's not matter.
Wow. Sorry, or can you say that again? They on October 7th they knocked on your doors, and what exactly did they say?
Yehud, Yehud, iftach el bab. This is in Arabic. In English, is Jewish people open your door.
Oh my God.
It
That
reminds us the Holocaust that the
exactly.
Germans said, Judenrat, open your door.
Wow.
It's the
That gave me
same.
chills. Oh my
And
gosh.
but how do we know that it's nothing about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and it's everything regarding the Jew? After they did it, in Kibbutz Be'eri, been murdered, 102 civilians, kids, a 6 months old baby, people 70% above the 70 years old age. No one, he was a soldier.
Mm.
They didn't care. They called their parents, and we heard it from the shelter. And we know Arabic. We understand them. They speak Hebrew, and they say, "Hey, mom, I just killed 10 Jews."
Mm.
And this is something that it's recorded. It's been shared all over the world. It's not something that you know you just say. This is the truth.
Let me ask you this, brother. So you grew up, feet away from the Gaza border. You've served in Gaza. You were critically wounded fighting Hamas. You survived the October 7th massacres. I mean, you have had an up close and personal experience with this. So let me throw two things at you, and I want you to have the opportunity to respond. One, what do you say when people say Hamas are freedom fighters? They're resisting the occupation, and along that lines that Israel is committing a genocide. Those are the big things that people say in the West. How would you respond to that?
So first, when you say that we are apartheid and we try to conquer the land, the truth is that in the history of Israel, we try 5 times over the history to make peace and to give them land and to make a life of peace that the life are secrets. And always they say no and they open a war regarding they want everything from the river to the sea. What does mean from the river to the sea? It means that it's not Palestine will be free. We will kill everyone there, we will conquer the land, and then we will free the land to the Palestinians. But in 47, we build states. There is 20% of all the populations of Israel are Arabs. There are Druze, there are Christians, Arabs, there are Muslims. We are mixed. We are the biggest melting pot in all over the world comparing to the amount of population. So we are eager to peace. I grow up a mile and a half from Gaza when I educated by the idea that if you give them what they need and what they want, no matter supplies, food, everything, before Hamas been controlled Gaza, more than 200K Palestinian pass the border in a daily basis to work in textile factory, infrastructures, etc. And we grow up together. So I don't remember till Hamas came inside that we didn't dreamed about peace. We always dreamed about peace. So it was never about we aim to conquer the land. We aim to defend ourselves. For us,
Mm.
every Jewish soul or Israeli soul, its secrets. And for them, it's the priest Muhammad, he have his own rule. So it's rational, it's ethical. So if you will ask, and it says in the history, if will Israel will put down their weapons, it will be second Holocaust.
Mm.
But if they will put their weapons down, they will have a country. So it's not
Mm.
about we eager for a peace. For us, build your own country. We don't care. Take these hot potatoes and do whatever it's necessary. But when we gave you millions of tons of soil and you build tunnels in schools, in hospitals, this is a freedom warriors. So you will sacrifice your kids, your baby, your everything, and you launch a terrorist attacks and rape, tortured, abuse, capture civilians. This is not a freedom warrior. This is the actually example and explain the dictionary what is mean terror.
Or let me ask you this one last question. Let's say you have someone who's protesting at Columbia University or Harvard University. You have these young folks in the UK and Australia that have never been to Israel, but man, they hate it. Just because of things they've read on Twitter or Reddit. But for this moment, they're not hiding behind. They're not hiding behind their keyboard. They're actually watching you right now. So, or in closing, what would you want to say to someone who has a very aggressively anti-Israel view of the conflict?
First, we are all liberal. There is a freedom. Everyone can share what he feel. But I want you to think twice before you share something, and everything you read. Be very careful with what you say regarding with our atmosphere today that everyone can pump and say what they want. You never know if this is true or false. But what do I say that for us, peace was always on the table, and we see ourselves as a country and a state and a place for freedom, for human rights, uh, and what you think that is right, you never been in Israel, and probably you never saw the way we live our life and the way we lived with the 20 plus percent Arabs in our own country. All what you see, it's what they give you.
So, or it's late in Israel. I appreciate you doing this. I hear your baby crying in the background. Go attend to your baby. I know that the beginning of Holocaust Remembrance Day in Israel begins tonight, correct?
True.
And the fact that that was what you heard when they knocked on your doors is, oh, that is so chilling. Or my friend, Toda Rabba Achi, God bless you.
Thank you. Am Israel Chai, and God bless us all. Thank you very much.